Hey guys, what's up? MadSeason here, back with another video for you. The winner of the latest Patreon poll is a video about Easter eggs in World of Warcraft. There are a ton of secret things, rooms, or references in the game, so in this video, I thought I'd show you 10 more. For number 1, we have an oldie, but a goodie. Throughout the game, you can find Knoll and Centaur camps and whatnot, Hogger's area and the Elwyn Forest, throughout Westfall, and so on. They live in these little tents made from hides skinned from animals, and if you look closely, humans? Now that's intense. Hey, if they can skin humanoids, why can't we? Clearly it's in the game. Let's double down on the creepiness in the Nagrand zone in the Outland. Located above the Laughing Skull ruins, you'll find the Nagrand Orphanage. It seems like a nice place. It has a sandbox, a swing set, and is watched over by a female troll named Chal. But if you go around the back, hidden away behind the building are a few cages with little bones inside. Okay, who trusted the female troll warlock with the fire staff to be the orphan matron here? Does she look trustworthy to you? What's in that stew, lady? There's also a doghouse with no dog that I can find anyways, but there is some rotting flesh and bone inside. In the Thousand Needle Zone, there's a big goblin ship called the Fizzle and Pozix Speed Barge. This area just serves as a questing hub, but underneath you can find this little hideout where the workers take a break. There's a table with some takeout boxes, some goblin gadgets and contraptions, a pool floaty, and a giant pinup calendar on the wall. A cool little getaway aside from the water. I don't like water. It's smooth and wet and irritating, and it gets everywhere. This next one I talked about in another video a while ago, but I think it fits here too, and that's the WKM Room in Orgrimmar. This is another pretty well known one, I think. In the middle of Orgrimmar, you'll notice a giant pillar. It's a little out of place, don't you think? Using some glitching to get under Orgrimmar, you can actually get right under this pillar and go inside of it, and you'll find that it's actually hollow. At the top is a tiny little room which is at the head of the pillar looking from the outside, and inside is a plaque that reads WKM and a little candle vigil. I don't think it's been officially confirmed anywhere what it means, but the common belief is that it's a memorial to an employee who passed away. And another memorial can be found in the Borean Tundra Zone southeast of the Nexus. In the hills of Koldara, you can find the brush-wielding trio, a panda named Zega, the blood elf Farah, and Kenai Griffith, the art teacher. If you speak with him, he has some dialogue where he welcomes you to the sketch group. Welcome to the sketch group. Grab an easel, get comfortable. No judgments here, unless you're a paladin, of course. Today, we're studying the Nexus. Such beauty, such chaos, so much blue. This is a tribute to an artist in Blizzard named Kevin Kenai Griffith. Tragically, he passed away from cancer in 2014, and this is Blizzard's memorial to him. There's also a tribute to him in Blizzard's action RPG game, Diablo 3, with the Kenai Cube feature, which lets you equip legendary traits. A cool little tribute, I think. Nestled and hidden away in the northeastern Duskwood Zone, you can find another Easter egg / tribute. If you follow an out-of-the-way path through this clearing, you'll find a rare spawn named the Unknown Soldier and 2 giant statues watching over the area. This is in reference to the real-life Tombs of the Unknown Soldier, which are memorials for all of the unknown soldiers who perished in the battlefield. I think the most widely known one is in the Arlington Cemetery in Virginia, but many countries such as France, the UK, Portugal, Italy, and so on have these monuments. So, the World of Warcraft saw fit to have their own in-game. In real life, the memorials are typically guarded and watched over 24/7, and the Unknown Soldier stands vigil in the Duskwood Memorial along with the 2 hooded statues. The soldier himself is decked out in Alliance armor and kneels at the tomb, defending it from any disrespectful adventurers. That's enough for memorials, I think. In the northeastern Jade Forest on a bluff, you can find a house with a bunch of balloons tied to the roof. and nearby you can find 3 NPCs, a fox named Dig, a Grummel named Rusty Nail, and a Pandrin named Car. This is a reference to Pixar's 2009 film Up, with Car as Carl, and Dig as Doug, and Rusty Nail as Russell, I believe, but it's been a while since I've watched the movies, so I could be wrong about that. The balloons themselves are a mix of Darkmoon Faire and Alliance and Horde themes as well. A cool reference for a cool movie that I recommend to anyone. Just bring a handkerchief. The next 2 are kind of cheating since they've been removed from the game, but still worth mentioning I thought, since it's one of the most elaborate references in the game. Or was at least. Do references count as Easter eggs? I don't know, but I'll talk about it anyway since I think it's interesting and cool, and it was sort of hidden. The Ungoro Crater Zone holds a slew of Easter eggs, and the zone itself is one huge reference, and in this zone you used to be able to find the Linken quest line. In the southeast, you could find a wrecked raft with a pack nearby, and opening the pack gave you a curled map parchment, a large compass, a lion-headed key, and a faded photograph. Those first 3 are oddly familiar, aren't they? And if you clicked on the faded photograph, you would see a hooded gnome with a companion in Stormwind City. Since this quest is now removed, this faded photograph is a highly sought after collector's item and is currently going for over 400,000 gold on average across all US servers, with just 1 listing active at the time of this video. So, if you clicked on the raft, you got a quest to return these items to an NPC in the north named Linken, a short dude with a green hood, tunic, and a shield. You got to keep the photograph though. You find out that Linken has amnesia. He was supposed to come to this strange land for a reason, but he just can't remember, which is similar to the Game Boy game Link's Awakening, where he crashes his raft and lost his memory. All he knows is that he's supposed to strengthen his sword somehow, and that an NPC named Donovan Snowden in the Winterspring Zone can do just that. Every Zelda game makes you power up your sword. You start with a training sword, you get a tempered one, and lastly, the legendary Master Sword. Remember, this was pre-Cataclysm, where the quests sent you all across the globe, and this chain was no different. You went all the way north to the Winterspring Zone, where Donovan strengthens his sword, but she says that it's still too weak, and that we'll need help from another dwarf named Grigan Brewspewer way down south in Fairless. He makes us an important item called the Vidir Elixir, but to get it, you need a special plant called Evo Root, which is guarded by a null creature named Miblon, which is an anagram for the word Moblin, which are enemies in the Zelda series. You lure him away from the plant by using bait, you pick it up, and return it to Grigan to get the elixir. You then return that to Donova, and she tells you to go to the graveyard in Tanarus and drink the elixir. Doing so will kill you, but if you go north in ghost form, you'll find an old man named Gairian. He tells you to go back to the graveyard and to find the right gravestone, and if you push it over, you'll find a sword-shaped hole in the ground, and if you place a training sword into that, you get the tempered sword. You then return the sword to Linken and talk to a few NPCs, and it turns into the superior sword, but we still need to figure out where to use it. So, you're sent across the world once more to an NPC named Eridan Bluewind in the Fellwood Zone, where she tells you of some evil located in the heart of Ungoro Crater called Blaze Runner. He's protected by a magical enchantment though, and we need to figure out a way to dispel it. She has you gather some reagents from various enemies in Fellwood, and has you take them all the way back to the Tanarus Zone in the eastmost peninsula to summon a water elemental named Aquamentus, which is in reference to Aquamentus with a U, a recurring boss in the Zelda franchise. If you survived the fight, you'd get the silver totem, which dispels Blaze Runner's aura. Returning to Linken gave you the last part of the chain, which was to finally defeat Blaze Runner, who guards a mystical triangle-shaped artifact called the Golden Flame and could be found atop the Fire Plume Ridge in the middle of Ungoro Crater. You had to use silver arrows, the silver totem, to dispel Blaze Runner's magical aura, which made him vulnerable. So, you battled it out with the fire elemental in a climactic duel, and if you were successful, you got the Golden Flame. If you returned to Linken a final time, you were awarded with either his Sword of Mastery or the Spirit of Aquamentus offhand, whichever you choose. And a trinket called Linken's Boomerang, which dealt some damage and also had a chance to stun and disarm the target. It was quite the epic quest chain, an adventure some would describe it, I'm sure. The sword today is a highly sought after transmog item because it had a unique model. It's no longer obtainable though, since the whole chain was removed in the Cataclysm expansion, one of its many victims. So it's one of the rarer transmogs in the game. And as I said earlier, the whole zone itself is a big Easter egg and is filled with references. One of the biggest ones is the old TV show, The Land of the Lost, where the characters, Marshall, Will, and Holly, entered this alternate universe inhabited by dinosaurs. To the north is the hub Marshall's Refuge. There's an NPC named Halanyi. Throughout the zone, there are these pylons that are powered by red, blue, green, and yellow crystals, which is also an element from the show, and so on. And if all of that wasn't obvious enough, originally zoning into the Ngoro crater played the opening theme from The Land of the Lost. This was removed due to copyright, I believe though. And our last Easter egg can be found in the Western Tearsfall Glade Zone in the Eastern Kingdoms, located in the Whispering Forest. In this forest, you'll find a large circle of mushrooms, which is peculiar itself, but if you wait long enough, something special happens. These Fey-drunk fairies will spawn and kind of hang out for a bit, and after a while, they convene at the circle of mushrooms and perform a neat little ritual with some flashy effects and even a song. If you turn on your music, you get to hear the fairy dragon's short song. And if you liked the music enough, you can get the scroll for it to play in your garrison. This spawns in the middle of the circle of mushrooms after the fairies do their ritual, but it's only visible if you have the jukebox unlocked. They show up every 15 minutes or so it's a nice easy collectible and a cool experience. Hidden stuff like this is part of what makes this game great, and I like sharing it with you guys. I'll be sure to do another one of these soon. I'm sure a lot of you knew about some of this stuff already, but hopefully it's new to most of you out there. And if you have any you'd like to suggest, go ahead and let me know since I do write them down. I hope you found the video interesting or entertaining. Like it if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Farewell for now, mortals. We hope you enjoyed today's video. See you again soon.